What is up, guys? Dashing here, and we are live for Octane number 153, following what was an amazing mob violence, the Rumble matches. And you know there ain't no breaks here in CMV, baby. We are now en route, just a few weeks away from validation, and yes, the return of the Battle of the Brands, which, hey, said on Shockwave, all respect to Adam Valentine, the GOAT of CMV, but you take a look at the Octane roster, right? The show that I'm running here, CMV's flagship show, I think, undisputedly. And then you take a look at what Adam Valentine's got going on over there on Shockwave. I'm still giving Valentine a chance to just forfeit right now before we even get to Los Angeles. That's in the air, Adam. I'm just saying. As Team Octane begins to take shape, we're kicking things off in the best way possible here tonight. Alexia Diamond, you saw there, the Uncut Gems, going to be going one-on-one with the Women's World Champion, Alice Blake. This is how every single episode of CMV, in my opinion, should get underway, should kick off, is with Alice Blake, who of course is set to defend once again that Women's World Championship for us against, well, the Women's Rumble match winner, Ruby Rattel. But it's Alexia Diamond, Rattel's close friend, who is looking to perhaps soften up the champ a bit, earn some momentum for the Uncut Gems, heading toward validation. The longest reigning women's world champion in CMV history. Most defending champion in CMV history. And still over a year here in CMV unpinned. Don't look that up. Don't look into that. Maybe Alexia Diamond, though, could be the one to change that. That would be, I mean, come on, a huge boost for Ruby Rattel heading into validation. If she looks to be the one to end this unparalleled reign. It's a good start for Alexia Diamond into a side headlock. As the champion grounded straight up one-on-one here, which is pretty surprising to me, honestly. None of the rest of the Uncut Gems, none of the rest of Pat's LaFaves are out here. Of course, Vanessa Morgan was busy on Shockwave, decimating Sophia Eve Faith. Did have a bit of back and forth on social media, did Alice Blake, a couple of days ago with television champion Thea. We know that Vanessa Morgan, the right hand of our women's world champion, wants a shot at that television championship. There's a cheap shot right there from Alice Blake. Back into the collar double tie-up. Alexia Diamond, a two-time women's tag team champion. Hey, for Diamond here, if she can defeat Alice Blake, maybe that puts her in line for a shot at the women's world championship. You have to imagine being the first one to pin Alice Blake here in CMV. I mean, Ruby Rattel beats Alice Blake in validation. We could have a little uncut gem on uncut gem violence. And still Diamond has got the better of Blake right now. Nice trip up. Well, again, I'll tip my hat to Adam Valentine. The team that he is putting together is an impressive one. His team captain, officially the Ogre Morgan. And he's got a Hall of Famer, Xander Slate, on Team Shockwave as well. Of course, he made Xander Slate qualify. I never would have done something like that. But, of course, the Octane team captain will be the Egyptian Destroyer, Ahmed. And we're already looking at Carlos Corvo and the Intercontinental Champion, Remy Martin, to be a part of Team Octane. And by the way, tonight we got Carlos Corvo, Jack Taylor, one-on-one in the rematch, as well as Gustavell and Remy Martin finally meeting one-on-one, non-title matchup. But a lot of bad blood there, that's for certain. Kick to the back. How about this, though, guys? Our main event. Make sure you don't go anywhere. It is the Global Championship on the line. Yes, the second reign of Chris Diamond as Global Champion could be one short-lived, as he must defend against Troy Colt. But look at this. The Tombstone Lung Blower from Alice Blake could look to make short work of Alexia Diamond here, but a kick out at one. Blake, however, no beating around the bush tonight. I like that chop. Blake catches. It's caught with a inverted Tanahashi clothesline. One Diamond here, speaking of the other in our main event. Indeed, the British Baller at Mount Violence, if you missed it, did dethrone Hunter Quinn to become, yet again, it's going to feel so good to say, Global Head now. But it could be that he kisses the championship goodbye right here tonight as Troy Colt not only officially becomes an Octane superstar, looks himself become a two-time global champion. It's something Hunter Quinn's not happy about. I'm sure he'll be watching that main event very closely, and I sincerely hope only watching. Drop kick to the back. Blake has just entirely taken control of the matchup at this point, and the kick connoisseur doing, of course, what she does best up on Brett's rope. Gonna stalk Alexia Diamond, trying to create some distance, and she does another DDT in her lucha bag tonight. Is Alice Blake, and well, Diamond is thoroughly rocked right now. You can see Blake drag her into the corner. Has been busted open. As Diamond at this point, oh man, these kicks. That could be a couple of cracked ribs for Alexia right there. Look at just how relentless Alice Blake can be. Boom, boot to the side of the head. The undisputed greatest of all time. Look at the factoids. The statistics. Goes for Jetstream, though. Wait a minute, gets caught. And there's a lapel lock. Alexia Diamond's got Blake down in the lapel lock. And, well, guys, Alice Blake in over a year has only tapped out once. Alexia Diamond trying to make it twice. Bam! Shuts that down emphatically. Does the women's world champion. But a kick out still at 2. Alice Blake trying to use Alexia Diamond to send a message to Ruby Raquel. Ahead of validation. Gonna try. Jetstream is again countered. Hang on. Another lapel lock. Alice Blake finds herself caught a second time in a pretty short amount of time. But again, she is able to escape. Alexia Diamond has got the Jetstream very well scouted. She has counted it 3 times in this match now. Standing toe-to-toe. Just lighting each other up with these knife-edge chops. Neither is budging, though. How about kicking off Octane number 153 with a banger? Uh-oh, Diamond gets the upper hand. Still, though, the champion. Coming back. And now, bona fide slobber knocker we've got here. They're going to knock each other out. They're going to no contest. Uh-oh, what's this? Quickly rolled up. Blake going to try to steal it. And she does, too. Alice Blake, like a thief creeping through the window, takes a... Hang on, where did... Oh, no! The beating's not over for Alexia Diamond. Vanessa Morgan may have just permanently taken Diamond out. What a choke slam. Vanessa Morgan doing the real dirty work here tonight. A fantastic matchup there between Alexia Diamond and Alice Blake that, quite honestly, Diamond could have had one, but got caught. That's just how crafty our women's world champion is. Well, I'd say Vanessa Morgan with that post-match choke slam almost put Diamond right through the canvas. Having the 9th circle hell there, but how will the Uncut Gems attempt to respond as we head toward validation? Well, guys, coming up next, we've got a debut on our hands. Roderick Devaney. His first appearance here on Octane, and he's already made a friend. Isn't that nice? Owen O'Rourke gonna park a seat in the corner of Devaney here as he's set to take on a true CMV legend. What an opportunity for Devaney, by the way. One-on-one here. Oh, hang on. Let's check out the 18-inch pythons for a moment. Take it on Stevie Wizard. A very talented young kid is this Roderick Devaney, but, well, that talent's going to be shortly tested here with the return of the magical Stevie Wizard. A shocking appearance, to say the least, in the Men's Rumble at Mob Violence. His first, well, time back in the CMV ring in, gosh, 6-7 years or so. An NGW alum. Well, Stevie Wizard not going anywhere too fast as he makes his Octane debut. Speaking of debuts, Owen O'Rourke had his last Octane, and nothing to sneeze at. Win against the second generation superstar Jace Devine. And I don't say this lightly. We've had some annoying individuals come to the doors here in CMV over the years. But Roderick Devaney might take the cake. He has instantly already made a good number of enemies in that locker room, running that mouth of his. But like I said, he has apparently made at least one pal in the Irishman there at ringside. Owen O'Rourke, but here we go. It's going to be Roderick Devaney and Stevie Wizard one-on-one. And straight out the... Woo! What a monkey flip. Hang on. That might have been the greatest monkey flip I've ever seen. Sent Stevie Wizard flying through the air. And O'Rourke even appears to be impressed. Oh, what an attitude adjustment? A very quick fireman's carry takeover slam, and it got a 2 count out of it as well. Really not trying to play around with that man, Stevie Wizard. I mean, come on, possessing those magical powers, the type that you got to try to put out of commission as fast as possible. You never know what kind of rabbit you might pull out of that hat. And always looking for that Stevie kick, too. Might be looking for a kick right here. Oh, man. Right upside Devaney's head as Wizard really feeling himself. Devaney, meanwhile, might not have any idea where the hell he is. Slingshot kick to the chest. Woo! Elbow right across that chest as Wizard begins to take control. You know, for a man who hasn't been in action in 6-7 years, Stevie Wizard looking pretty damn good in that CMV ring right now, but Devaney is able to avoid that meteor. And now look, the young kid, even during a matchup, can't shut his mouth. Stay focused. He's got to be flapping them gums. Oh, reverse DDT real fast by Wizard to take back control. But Devaney, wise, rolls out onto that apron. Wizard not letting go all too far. Big hook to the jaw. As it appears as though, at least for the time being, Owen O'Rourke only out here to observe. What does he think about this half Tarantula? Trying to rip them arms right off. And getting a real close look at Stevie Wizard here. Whoa, Wizard! How old is Stevie Wizard? He's got to be getting up there in age. Look the way that he's moving, though. Could be hundreds of years old. Uh-oh. Owen O'Rourke, it looks like, trying to play a little bit of defense without directly putting hands on Stevie Wizard. On a risk of disqualification for Roderick Devaney. His Octane debut here, but, well, that might have been preferable to this pile driver on the floor. Oh, this matchup might be as good as done. Count of 7, Owen O'Rourke. What's he getting up to as Devaney gets back into the ring? Oh, the Irishman just took off that top turnbuckle cover. Devaney with some elbows to the midsection. Send Wizard off the ropes on the rebound. Tries for a big old double axe handle. A little bit premature, though. Now an Irishman. Oh, no! The plan backfires. That top turnbuckle that Owen O'Rourke exposed. Roderick Devaney is sent careening into sternum first. Karma, they call it. And it certainly just bit Roderick Devaney on his rear end there. Wizard might be looking to set up for that Stevie kick anytime now. Shoulder breaker. Oh, ref, thank you very much. What timing for our official to go and fix that top turnbuckle. Wizard could have had it one there. Oh, yeah, drink it in, baby. Drink that potion. Oh, what a... I don't know what the hell to call that. Oh, but Owen O'Rourke. It was like a springboard something or another cutter. Wizard had the matchup won, but Owen O'Rourke causing a fuss at ringside, distracting the NGW alum. Wizard still going to go up to the top. Whoa! What an elbow drop. I don't know how in the world Roderick Devaney just kicked out of that. pretty confidently say I don't think I've ever seen an elbow drop executed in such spectacular fashion. Devaney showing his grip, being able to kick out of it, though. You got to admit. Oh, and there's an elbow to the side of the head as he tries to shake it off, and now going to try to maybe pull an Alice Blake with this quick little roll-up. Crucifix pin, he almost got it. Almost ain't good enough, though. Roderick going to go low, and it might be time for a crunchy. Someone dial up Sunshine. Stevie Wizard sent back to the Middle Ages here. Owen O'Rourke wants to get a closer look as Devaney now goes to the top. And he is lining up his shot. Oh! I heard the pop, baby. Where's the ref? Oh my God, the ref is fixing the other exposed turnbuckle. Wait, there still might be time. Oh, Owen O'Rourke is not being very much of a help in this match, I gotta say. That's twice he's kind of screwed over Roger Devaney. First the exposed turnbuckle, well, twice with the exposed turnbuckle. I think O'Rourke should maybe just stay out of this match. Punches to the top of that. I mean, Devaney had this match won. That was like a solid 10 count right there. Grab on the back of the neck. Elbows, though, to the midsection here. Tries to go for a Meteora. Knife edge chop and a double axe handle. Now he sees Stevie Wizard with a little bit of a desperate pin attempt. Devaney's foot is clearly under the bottom rope there, but at least he's able to kick out anyhow. And a quick escape to ringside. Not for long. Jumps right back in, and Wizard going to give him no clean ring entry. European uppercut to the back of the head. And a foot DDT. Absolutely despicable from Stevie Wizard there. Not going to take that. It is Roger Devaney. Comes back at him with a springboard forearm smash, and I think Owen has maybe learned his lesson at this point. Doesn't seem like he's going to get involved any further. Uh-oh. Cam Harris. Where were you when Roger Devaney nailed Stevie Wizard with the Cam Harris special to perhaps win this match? And he does! Roger Devaney off the Cam Harris special and a boot to the side of the head just for good measure. Victorious in its Octane debut. Despite Owen O'Rourke's best efforts to see that this outcome didn't happen, obviously he didn't mean to. He was trying to help Devaney, but even still, that's a debut dub for the man they call Roger Devaney against someone like Stevie Wizard. That's a nice notch in the belt for Devaney. He had it won here. The matchup should have been over right here. I like how Owen O'Rourke's like cheering him on the whole time. The ref finally turns around and able to kick out. Well, here it was, the Cam Harris special followed up by a stiff boot upside Wizard's head. And that was enough to keep him down. Good matchup here, though. And Devaney's certainly excited. Might have to have a little chat with O'Rourke, though.
Rumble that was. I may not have gotten the win, but throwing 5 other chicks over the top ropes? Well, hot damn, I'll take it. But the Rumble has come and gone, and all I can do is pick myself back up and go out there better than ever, which is happening tonight really soon, or hell, next match. Depends with this air. I digress. Tonight, I get to go one-on-one with Madison Quinn. Maddie, we had a brief encounter at the Rumble. You're strong, damn strong. But in our match, we'll definitely see who's the strongest. But you had to go. Nothing personal, every woman for themselves. But I have no problem getting into a one-on-one match with you. Meat slapping me, or however the saying goes. I don't know, man. Win or lose, I'm looking to get back into Twisted Sisters business. Our goal is to capture the tag titles, or even the trios titles. Media Outcast or Undisputed Elite. Definitely want another crack at an Undisputed Elite. But one step at a time. Tonight, Madison is gonna taste my rock and roll!
Well, indeed, my friends, the Iron Woman of the Women's Rumble match of Mob Violence, Anna Simmons, I think, really showed up and showed out. Put herself on the map, if she wasn't already, with that performance in San Antonio. Lasted longer than anybody else in the Women's Rumble. What was it? I think it was 5 or 6 eliminations. I definitely think it was at least 5. Might have been even 6. There was a tangent she went on. She threw out like 3 people in the span of like 30 seconds. Well, one of those women she tossed out was her opponent here tonight, representing the hallowed Madison Quinn. And as Anna Simmons just said herself, there's going to be 2 big gals just beating the hell out of each other in this one. Looking forward to it. Well, it's a big night for the hallowed, but I'd say next Octane is going to be even bigger, guys, because nobody just does anything for you anymore. Everybody approaching, trying to be a part of Team Octane. They wanted something in return, and, well, Hunter Quinn is hallowed. In order for me to be so privileged to utilize them against Team Shockwave, well, I had to give them a match next Octane, guys. And I'm going to say now, next Octane is going to be maybe the most violent night in CMV history, because we're going to have an ambulance match between Ahmed and Tops Newsome and the return of War Games. Yes, 4-on-4. Don't know entirely yet who is going to be on the opposing team, but taking on the hallowed. And what will be, I believe, the 6th War Games match in CMV history. So there's a very high chance we're going to have a couple of broken bones. Maybe some years taken off of certain careers. Well, potentially some careers ended. But for Anna Simmons, her career is just getting started here in CMV, guys. And, well, this rocker, like I said, coming off of that amazing performance in the Women's Rumble, hoping to carry that momentum and maybe propel herself to some sort of championship opportunity if she can, well, indeed follow up by knocking off Madison Quinn here. And the Hallowed is definitely looking to earn as much momentum as they can heading into War Games next Octane. Madison Quinn here. Later on, it's going to be Max Cutter welcoming Tommy Demise to Octane. Again, Gus Novell and Remy Martin going to be one-on-one a bit later on, too. As Anna Simmons immediately yeets Madison Quinn overhead. Quinn was kind of the big bully on the block for a hot minute, but then Anna Simmons showed up here in CMV, and I think things have changed. Madison's not used to getting thrown around like this. God! But this Anna Simmons, I mean, she's got to be a good, I don't know for sure, but I would wager 6'3", maybe even 6'4". Probably 200 pounds, and I mean, so powerful, just knocking Madison's block off at the start of this matchup. My word. Little run and drop kick. Now picks Quinn up to her feet. Grab on the back of the head. Smashed face first at the top turnbuckle. Quinn's been, busted open off of that and just eliminated her from the Rumble again. Knocked down to the floor. Anna Simmons is off that moon juice. Off that W. Look at this! See, a woman that size should not be able to do something like that. Slingshots herself to the outside, takes out Madison, who hasn't been able to catch her breath. And right back into the ring. There ain't no stopping Anna Simmons right now. Madison tried to do her very best. Just walks right into a kick to the gut. And a sit-out powerbomb. We have, it's safe to say, never seen Madison Quinn so thoroughly thrashed. What we are seeing, look at this, just treat her like a pancake, man. Like it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Madison, please respond. I don't think that Quinn was ready for this. Like I said, Anna Simmons is riding that high still, man, from her performance in the Rumble. Oh, goes for the big boot. And that might have been, oh, but there's a big boot for you. Show her how it's done. That's cute, and now the small package. Everybody's trying to pull the Alice Blake tonight, huh? With the roll-ups. Small package with a kick out at one by Anna Simmons. And finally, some resistance from Madison Quinn. At the opening couple of minutes, there's the choke slam, too. Well, just like that, that's why Madison Quinn is so dangerous, just like her brother. Can take a shellacking, and all it could take is potentially one move like that right there. Almost had the matchup won, but look at Anna with a leg lariat. Goes to her feet, trying for another choke slam. And Anna Simmons seen it was coming. Running power slam instead connects. And you're going to flick some hair sweat in Madison's face before dropping that bow right across the chest. And now, when you see Simmons trying to slow things down, perhaps a little bit, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Grab by the back of the head, walked into the corner. I don't think anybody was expecting this to be some sort of technical masterclass. Got two gals this size beating the hell out of each other. That's exactly what it's been. Simmons to the second rope. Big headbutt to Madison's face. Takes a second to knock herself loopy into the pin, but a kick out at two. Simmons, though. Ooh, with the cutter. It was sharp. Hook on the leg is not going to have it done and dusted. Kick out at two again, Madison. Stays alive. I don't know for very much longer, though. Simmons gonna go for a choke slam of her own. But Madison with a well-placed elbow to the side of the head and follows up with a wicked clothesline. Oh, and maybe, I think, just try for the beast bite. Hang on! Woo! Like a rag doll, brother. And Madison says, get me out of here. In the corner, but that might not be where she wants to be. Anna Simmons going to try to put her up on top. Madison counted for the knee, though. Uh-oh. Got to get well acquainted with that top turnbuckle. Man, those full Nelson smashes. And Simmons, turn around. Psycho Drilla. Middle of the ring. One count. Somebody call up the local paper. Anna Simmons just kicked out at one. Asked him to go for another one. Delivers a knee to the back of the head and now going to drag Simmons away from the ropes. We'll go for another pin. You can see, oh my God, didn't even get a one count. Not even a one count. But the sit-out choke slam might do Simmons in. No! Well, at least Madison got a 2 count. But, well, obviously not happy about that. Oh, that's why we don't see Madison take to the air all too often. The Quinn family are not who you would call high flyers, and we just saw why that is. Well, Simmons may have kicked out of that sit-out choke. Oh, speaking of a choke! Look at this death grip Anna Simmons has got right now, but a punch to the chest. Gonna free Madison. Very fast, scoops Simmons up, drops her down middle of the ring, and Simmons saying, I You think I'm in trouble here? I go all night long. Think about going to the top? Maybe another Cam Harris special? Maybe not. What is Madison doing? What's the game plan here? It's kind of slap to the face. Oh! The black! The diamond cutter. A second one. And now Simmons getting everybody up on their feet. A third! Black diamond cutter. Handing him out. 1, 2. And it still is not enough, but Madison just looked like she saw God. Picks herself up. I have to imagine pure instinct. In that corner, Simmons unfortunately still on her. Sounds like a monkey on a cupcake. Off them ropes and leaving it back. And again, Simmons. This woman's just got an infinite well of energy. Never seems to deplete. Turns around in that corner. Ram. In the corner and caught with that German suplex. Madison. I don't know if she can. Uh-oh, colossal clutch. Colossal clutch. I think Anna Simmons might try to rip her head off. Is Madison going to tap? Oh, she does not. That's the toughness of Madison right there. I swear to God, I thought Simmons was going to rip her head right off. Back of the ring, Simmons, a big gal from the top. That's like getting that anvil dropped on top of your head, I'm sure. And now we see this before from Simmons, the Fisherman's DDT. And no risk of a rope break here. Into the pin. I think she could probably take as long as she wants to. This one's got to be over. And it is. Anna Simmons picks up the victory. But Madison, sore loser, tries to get her lick back, but Simmons can't be stopped. What a win for Anna Simmons. Well, not a good start to the night for the Hallowed as Anna Simmons. We might actually need to reduce her W intake because this woman's going to freaking start running through walls backstage. And we have still got a lot of show coming your way. Up next, a banger triple threat, I've got no doubt. The Rite of Passage champion Ben Stacy set to tango with Ahmed and Tops Newsom. And again, guys, next Octane, as mentioned before, we're going to have the third ever ambulance match in CMV history, as Ahmed has vowed to put Tops Newsom permanently in a hospital bed. And after that, his sights are set on taking the Rite of Passage championship from Ben Stacy, who the last Octane, Ahmed made tap. And against someone like Ben Stacy, look, you beat Ben Stacy, that's one thing. You make somebody like Ben Stacy tap out, that's another level. One of the, I'd say, confidently, the most impressive technical wrestler we've got in CMV right now. Stacy's the one who typically does the tapping. But the one who got the last laugh last episode of Octane was this man here, the Puppet Master, who, well, after that win for Ahmed, Newsom hit the ring, took out Ahmed and Ben Stacy. Why not? Quick 2 for the price of 1. The CMV veteran will not die. Even after that proper shellacking he received courtesy of Ahmed a couple of weeks ago. The old timer, not too easy to take out behind the shed and put down. But Ahmed's got his chance to do that next Octane in the ambulance match. It's going to be a first for Top System. He's done a lot in his career, but he has never been in an ambulance match. Will indeed Top System be sent to the retirement home? Or will perhaps it be Ahmed booking a permanent room at the local medical facility? Well, this triple threat's going to give the two a chance to get hands on each other one final time before that ambulance match. Meanwhile, Ben Stacy finds himself caught in the middle and just trying to keep his grip tight on that Rite of Passage championship. And here he is, the captain of Team Octane at Validation, my destroyer, the man who will decimate Team Shockwave. I'm sure he can do it single-handedly. If ever there was a leader, it's Ahmed, the former Anarchy champion, a future world champion. Some might say that's a bold prediction. I'd say it's just a matter of fact. Just look at who is already on Team Octane and tell me with a straight face that you think Team Shockwave stands a chance as is. Ahmed, our captain. Carlos Corvo, the KO Kid. The Intercontinental Champion, Remy Martin. Just those 3 alone. I probably don't even anybody else. There are a lot of plans that Ahmed has, starting with Top Newsom being sent to the old folks home for good, then taking that Rite of Passage championship from Ben Stacy, and then leading Team Octane to glorious victory at Validation. I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to say the end of this season, Ahmed will be world champion. You can quote me on that. Triple threat matchup. Ahmed, Ben Stacy, Tops Newsom. Rite of Passage championship not on the line, but the opportunity for all 3 of these men to get hands on each other. And again, especially heading. Is my mic moving? Oh, it's because I was talking there for a minute. No, I was just in awe. That's all. Of Ahmed. Just pure, unadulterated awe. Weren't we all? As Top Susan gets sent to the corner, Ben Stacy from behind. But it took a lot for Ben Stacy to finally turn things around after what has been a rough season, and he did, winning the Rite of Passage Championship a couple weeks ago. His first ever championship here in CMV, and a path to a global championship opportunity whenever he wants it. But Ahmed's gunning for it, trying to tear down everything he's managed to build back up over the last few weeks. Meanwhile, Top Susan just trying to stay alive, trying to survive the onslaught of Ahmed, who avoids getting hammered right there. Ben Stacy under that bottom rope, looking for a weapon of his own. And he's got the age-old kendo stick. Meanwhile, Ahmed trying to stomp Top Susan into the canvas. Springboard avoids the kendo stick and a drop kick to the face. Well, still to come, my friends, of course, our main event, the Global Championship on the line. And indeed, will it be a short second reign as Global General for Chris Diamond, as he must put the championship on the line against Octane's newest superstar, Troy Colt. Stacy taking some time getting back into the ring. Well, guys, Top Newsome, if he's being honest, will be the first to tell you things have not been going great for him since the return to CMV at Ascendance 13. Of course, in his return, it was spectacular. He won that Gauntlet Eliminator to earn a global championship opportunity, but it's pretty much been entirely downhill from there. A lot of losses for the veteran, but he's still ticking. He gets back up. One of the oldest athlete competitors here in CMV. Not the absolute oldest. He and Paul DeMai might have to go age for age there. The roll up by Ahmed trying to steal this one. Oh, hang on, Ahmed fighting everybody off. Oh, but Ben Stacy. See ya. Thanks for coming. A little bit of a momentary alliance between Stacy and Newsom. Doesn't last long. It's a triple threat match after all. No countouts, no disqualifications as Ahmed gets thrown back into the ring. But scooped up as the Rite of Passage champion for a little bit of a snake eyes by Newsom, who tells him to calm yourself down. Don't worry about it. And a punch where the sun don't shine. Again, no disqualifications. And a triple threat matchup, but you can't win at ringside. Any falls count anywhere. Got to be pin or submission in that ring. Ben Stacy knows that. He's got the kendo stick again as Ahmed decides this is a good time to show off the muscles. No, it isn't. Pile driver on the floor. It might be Ahmed taking a trip to the hospital after that. And now look at Newsom. Biting at him, nipping at him with these stomps. Here comes Stacy trying to capitalize from behind. I wonder how you mentally prepare yourself for a match like an ambulance match. I mean, we've only had two here in CMV. The first, of course, was Joe Blade and Aaron Stone a couple years ago. That was a brutal matchup. And the second was Max Cutter of the Hallowed and Leon Gara. I have to say, likewise brutal. It is a brutal match. The only way to win is to beat your opponent so badly that you're able to put them in the back of an ambulance and send it driving away to the local hospital. Can't win by pin. There ain't no submissions and no countouts, no disqualifications. It's a barbaric matchup. But Ahmed is intent. He doesn't want to just beat Top Two. So we did that a couple weeks ago. He wants to destroy him. Wants to snap him in half. And again, we see Stacy's got the right idea here. He's big chilling in the ring, waiting for somebody to come to him, and it's going to be Ahmed. Slam. As Newsom comes to join the fun. Stacy, though, going up to the top rope. There it is! The mind virus! Pulling on them strings, but Stacy broke it up inadvertently. I don't think he was trying to save Ahmed there. Oh, shusher! Came out of nowhere, but Ahmed's back up just in time to make sure there ain't even a one count. It's the woke mind virus. Mind control. Tops Newsom definitely strikes me as a Facebook boomer. Kick out at one, though. That's Ahmed. That scoops him up. Tops, though, crafty. With some elbows to the back of the head. Spins around. What's this now? Ooh. Off them ropes and a knee to the side of the head. Uh-oh. Stacy back in, however. Triple threat matchup. Can't forget about the other guy. He's getting taken out into the corner, but Ahmed's got some elbows waiting. Newsom's out cold all the while. Somebody could try to pin him, but he's starting to get back to his feet. Scissors kick from Ahmed. He's going to go for the pin. Where's Newsom going? It's back in to make the save after a count of 1. Uh-oh! Ahmed. Whoa! Stacy! With a poison Rana. Where does Ahmed think he's going? Well, Ahmed has tapped out both of these men in recent weeks. Can he do it again to win this triple threat matchup? Newsom going to rely on a little bit of help from the age-old equalizer, the steel chair there. But Stacy with the British curse on the chair. Does it barely. And Stacy only gets a 2 count. Oh, and a slap across the face. As now Ahmed potentially looks to take advantage of a hurt Newsom here after that British curse. But again, Newsom, just when you think he's dead to rights, finds a way to survive. He can try to break Ahmed's neck. See Stacy grab another kendo stick, just what we were missing here. Oh, nope, Newsom knew it was coming. Just tries to throw it at him. Drop down on the rebound. Gorgeous arm drag. Ahmed appears to be having himself a little bit of a nap at ringside while Newsom hits that hammerlock DDT. There's never just one. This is vintage Newsom right here. I think his record is 5 in a row. There's a second one, but Ahmed's going to interrupt with another kendo stick, and that just busted Newsom open. Shatters it over his knee. And Ben Stacy don't have any goddamn idea where he is right now. A power bomb, and that was on the chair. Stacy's tailbone on the steel chair. But the rite of passage champion kicks out. Now it's Newsom. Potentially forgetting what state he's in right now, staring up at them bright lights. What the hell is Ahmed? Some inverted Boston Crab situation. Leg drop from Ahmed, and Stacy's got the steel chair. And even someone as seemingly indestructible as Ahmed not going to be able to survive a hit like that. Up kick. Newsom is bleeding bad. He's got a wicked gash across his forehead. He is just gushing blood. Still the block whatever Stacy was trying for there in the corner. Can Ahmed get back to his feet quickly? Octane's team captain trying to lead by example here. Stacy been busting open too. Oh no, turns around. Right into a knee trembler. Ahmed the Vulture. 1, 2. I don't think you can kill Tops Newsom. This guy. Oh, but Ahmed, if there's a way, he'll find it. Newsom, though. Rejects the kick. Top to bottom. Into the pin. 1, 2. Seems like Newsom, though, has thrown everything. And then some more at the Egyptian Destroyer, and he just keeps getting back up and back up and back up to the top. Stacy coming back in, though, too. Gonna interrupt Ahmed's whole flow. Tries to. Ahmed now from the top. Whoa! Stacy takes out Tops. This went up if that kick was intended for him. It's time to break his back and make him humble. The Cairo clutch. But Newsom's there to help Stacy break out of it. Newsom, though, from behind, gonna try to poach. Ahmed with a punch. Right to the forehead sends Newsom. Ooh, and Newsom is leaving a trail of blood now. He is leaking. Ladies and gentlemen, Newsom might not make it to the ambulance match next Octane. The way he's looking right now. Ben Stacy picking up another kendo stick. Pile driver on the floor. But Stacy with the kendo stick. Newsom still gets back up though. And he's going to tear apart the steel steps now. Boom! Steel steps right between the eyes of Ahmed as Newsom tells him, into the steel barricade before snapping his neck like a twig. The puppet master. Gonna wait for Ahmed to get to his feet, elbow to the side of the head. And back into the ring, that's where he wants him. Tops Newsom while Stacy's down. This is a prime opportunity here. And Newsom's gonna take it. Bitch slap! Can't say Ahmed doesn't deserve it. It's going gorilla mode. Tops Newsom is beating this man down. I don't know if Newsom's going to be conscious for much longer, though. He's got to end this while he can. The amount of blood that he's losing. Oh, and now Ahmed has been busted open. Oh, no disqualifications. This choke him, but Stacy creeping in from behind. I think Newsom may have forgotten about him. And Stacy's going to take advantage of that. British curse again. Into the pin. 1, 2. Newsom. He might actually be unkillable. Sneaky elbow to the gut. And a battering ram. Headbutt to the solar plexus. Ahmed starting to stir. You see top send Stacy to the corner. Ahmed though. Oh, this is vintage Newsom right here. Gonna trick Stacy's head like a basketball. Bounce that thing up the top turnbuckle. 8, 9, 10 times. Man, that kendo stick has been Newsom's kryptonite in this match. Oh my God, and the work done by Newsom. Ahmed's gonna try to steal the win. No, but Stacy kicks out. He just had his brains bashed in, but he's still able to kick out. Well, may have just prolonged the inevitable. Newsom is down, and the Cairo clutch is locked in again. No Newsom to help this time. Stacy taps, and the Egyptian Dominator does it again. And that is why he is Octane's team captain. Two Octane episodes in a row, he has made the Rite of Passage champion tap out. As now, well, I'll say, if Tops Newsom can make it to the ambulance match next Octane, the way he's looking right about now, I'm not so sure. But if he does, whatever's left of the Puppet Master Ahmed's going to be sure to make a snack of. What a match. That was a banger. Well, I said the same thing about Tops Newsom a couple of weeks ago after his one-on-one match with Ahmed. And he came back immediately. So I guess I should learn to stop underestimating the toughness of this old dog. I thought Stacy had it won here. Unbelievable that Newsom kicked out of this. Look at the blood. The Cairo clutch locked in. Newsom was having himself a little nap on the outside. He got up just in time to see Stacy tap out. The checklist laid out. Break Tops Newsom next Octane in the ambulance match. Take the Rite of Passage championship from Ben Stacy. And then lead Team Octane to total victory at Validation.
You know, when I showed up at Mob Violence, there was a reaction. No doubt about that. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. Of course, I got a reaction. But you know, there are some out there who didn't know who I was. You know, I can't let that stand. So allow me to introduce myself to the uninitiated. My name is Tommy Demise. I am a deathmatch wrestler, and I am very good at what I do. I am most comfortable when I am bleeding. I take pleasure in hurting people. And I'm here in Octane to continue my mission of teaching the uneducated about the sanctity of violence, of bringing that holy warfare, that brutality to the masses. You know, Max Cutter and the Hollow, they think they run the show. They think themselves above it. But they're not. No one is above it, and I'm going to make sure that they all know that. So someone better phone up the Hollowed and tell them that I express my deepest condolences for them, because they are about to have a death in the family.
Well, indeed, it was one of the many shocking debuts, returns at Mob Violence in San Antonio. Tommy Demise, I'd say, is up there for one of the more shocking arrivals. And as he just touched on himself there a second ago, he had a pretty goddamn good run in that men's trouble. He was I believe, the third longest. What am I, from Boston? The third longest lost in, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying now. I'm going to have an aneurysm, I think, live here on Octane. Tommy Demise, though, let's just say he had a good run in his debut of the men's rumble match at Mob Violence. Of course, Joey Bacon was the Iron Man, lasting over 26 minutes. And behind him was Emmett Jones, but I believe Tommy Demise was third. Had the third best time. Now looks to show us just how dangerous he can be straight up. And, well, a big test against someone like Max Cutter. Tommy Demise fancies himself to one of the more violent individuals on the market currently when it comes to the world of pro wrestling, but he might be rivaled, if not bested, by the man he faces here tonight. That, of course, is the violent one. Max Cutter, the certified career ender of the Hallowed. And that's no hyperbole. He has ended multiple careers here in CMV. And nothing this man loves more than drawing blood, than breaking bones, than indeed ending careers. It's not been a good night for the Hallowed already. We saw Madison Quinn take that loss to Anna Simmons and then embarrassed after the fact when she tried to launch a sneak attack on Simmons and it backfired. Cutter going to try to pick it up, send it over to Gus Novell, who's still set to take on Intercontinental Champion Remy Martin later on. Also still to come our main event, Global Championship on the line. Octane's newest superstar, Troy Colt, looks to make Chris Diamond's second reign as Global General. A very short one indeed, but right here, right now, it's Max Cutter up against Tommy Demise. And this would probably be better suited as a death match, these two. But it is straight up one-on-one. We're going to get into a collar number tie, but don't let it fool you. Demise is also a hell of a wrestler. We'll see it immediately right here as he steps up to Cutter. Waistlock currently cinched in. Able to cut off his feet. He does. And this might be a very short debut for Tommy Demise. Indeed, maybe not. Counters out of that schoolboy into a cover of his own, but a kick out by Demise now. Well, the Hallowed gearing up for War Games next Octane. They still don't know who's going to represent the opposing team, who's going to represent the Hallowed. Cutter. I mean, if I were picking my team for War Games, I think both of these guys are here would probably be my first 2 picks. A matchup like that, quite fitting. Feel right at home inside of that hellish structure with plenty of plunder to utilize. Elbows here to the midsection, though, by Demise. Coming off of the Rumble matchups of Mob Violence. Got a lot of new faces here in CMB. So Demise hoping to stick out amongst the pack of the new arrivals. And this is a man who's well known all around the wrestling world, competing in many of the bigger companies, a champion all around this globe of ours. Get a clean break between these two is pretty surprising. Oh, but there's a shot for Demise. Pretty evenly contested so far. Cutter, though, can scoop him up and drop him chest first on that top rope. And now look at, obviously not impressed, is Cutter with all the accolades of Tommy Demise and calling himself violent. There's only one violent one here in CMB. And that is Max Cutter. Oh, you were a fan of Ace Reeves? You could thank Max Cutter for him not being around anymore here in CMB. Oh, just grazed Cutter. Definitely did not get all of that springboard crossbody to Demise. Everybody's got their strengths, and look at high flying might not be Demise's. He took the risk right there, and it didn't necessarily backfire. Still got cut off his feet. Snake Eyes, though. Demise could be looking to make a very dangerous enemy, though. Only a week into his CMB career, going up against the Hallowed. As he pulls Cutter through the ropes. Oh, we get another half Tarantula. Trying to rip off them arms. Cutter not used to being all hot up like this, but a boot to the side of the head. Now, oh, and he might have hit 2. Stevie Wizard just got his spot stolen. That senton off the apron from earlier tonight. The Wizard did that exact combination of maneuvers. And back into the ring. Demise potential looking for a count-out win in his Octane debut. It's a legit way to win, the Bloody Mary Chris Sanchez would tell you, but he resets the count as he goes to track down Cutter here. Got that arm. Definitely become the fixation for Demise in this matchup. Much to the chagrin, I would assume, of Cutter here. Get the hell off my arms. Thrown now down onto the floor. I'm sure Demise wants to send a message to that entire Octane locker room. Winning by countout wouldn't be the best way to do it. I don't think he sends Cutter back into the ring. He's got the arm again! Fujiwara! Right in the middle of the ring, too, but Cutter's out of it quickly. Ooh, a stunt on him with that head scissors. No dab, though. Look at Demise. That man just snapped right back to his feet, the blink of an eye. Smooth slam into the pin. I almost had it off that. Tries for a stop. Cutter, though, able to avoid it. Now from behind with a German suplex. Demise, though, the veteran that he is, quick to roll to the outside while the referee's distracted, checking on Demise. Cutter's just taking off that top turnbuckle cover. Oh, not even going to let Demise get back into the ring. Demise, though, will not stay down. He's a bit more weary, though. A bit more cautious getting back into the ring this time. Cutter just going to wait patiently for him. Oh, referee has noticed the exposed turnbuckle. Big STO from Cutter there, the former Anarchy champion, a former Rite of Passage champion as well. Of the Hallowed, another German suplex. Damn, he's taking control here, and he buys that work. And there's the Cutter from Cutter. Referee going to turn around just in time. No just insane, a kick out at 2. Demise not looking to eat that pile driver. Back body drop to stop his sculpt, potentially getting cracked wide open there. And now Demise, you can see it in his eyes. Into a cross armbar. He's been targeting those arms all match long. But Cutter, again, he's able to escape. A couple of well-placed punches to the side of the head. Cheeky little jab. Demise gonna eat it though. Nice edge chop. sends it back at him. Slap across the face. Knife edge chop to the eyes, no blocked. Right hook, another slap clean across the face. Knife edge chop comes at him. Masked Hunter says, that tickled, brother. Not impressed. Oh, he dodged the ref! And now he's gonna try to bite his nose off. Ref, what are you doing? And there's the pile driver. Come on, he blinded him, he bit his nose. This ref is just going to allow it, I guess. Oh, but Demise kicks out. I mean, you don't need to look too far to figure out just how tough this kid Tommy Demise is. Ref, this is getting about as ridiculous as can be. Cutter having free reign, trying to rip Demise's eye out. Counters that German suplex though. One well-placed elbow. It might be time to hit the jackpot. Just turn that man inside out. Doesn't look to me like Demise is done though. He says one ain't enough. I got another for you. 1, 2 in a row. And it's not enough to keep Max Cutter down. Demise says, hang on a second. I got a little bit in my bag right there. I thought this was over for sure. Now Max Cutter lures the man, able to counter. A forearm smash pulls him to his feet. And more nasty punches. Look at this, like shanking him. Little prison shank action. And I'm sure that Max Cutter, given a chance, would properly shank Tommy Demise. Kick out at 1 after that back suplex. Demise trying to get himself a breather, but Cutter's keeping on him like white on rice here. German suplex, like the 4th German suplex. He is really focusing on the neck of Tommy Demise. Tommy gets himself an opening. Woo-hoo! Brain busted, but Demise with a 3rd perhaps psycho magnet. And they do say the 3rd time be the charm. 1, 2, 3, Tommy Demise. Victorious in his debut. What a match. But, oh no, you forgot about the rest of the hallowed Tommy. Where there's one, there's more, but Michael Hawk from behind! That SOB Michael Hawk coming to the aid of his hallowed stable mate and raining on Tommy Demise's parade. Well, Isabella Almas, my friends, returns to action on the next episode of Shockwave. But coming up next here on Octane number 153, it is our tertiary main event. Some tag action coming our way as Amber Young going to introduce the CMV Universe to one of her proteges, Amy, making her CMV debut here in this matchup. Indeed, the Zero-G champion, Selena Satoru, not the only one with pupils. Not the only one running a dojo. Amber Young gonna show us just how good of a teacher she is, as indeed these two take on Zoe Remy and Selena Satoru of the Oja Dojo here. And still to come, our co-event up next, Gus Novell and Intercontinental Champion Remy Martin finally gonna get their hands on each other. A lot of bad blood there. And of course, our main event, the Global Championship, gonna be on the line, guys. Troy Colt looks to end the second reign of Chris Diamond as Global General almost as soon as it started. Well, the captain, Zoe Remy, the former Zero-G champion, and the current Zero-G champ, Selena Satoru, both had very strong performances in the Women's Rumble match at Mob Violence. And Satoru, I don't think I have to say it, has been one of the more impressive Zero-G champions we've had this season. I think I would confidently say the best Zero-G champion. At least statistically, you can't deny it. She successfully retained that championship 4 times. Of course, most recently, a couple weeks ago against Amber Young with a little bit of help from Zoe Remy. Amber Young intent on making the both of them pay for that. So here we go. Amber Young will get things started against Zoe Remy. We'll get our first look at Amy. Of course, Amber Young, a few weeks back, defeated Zoe Remy. They had a very, very good matchup against one another, but Amber Young showed not a sliver of respect towards Remy. Even when Remy offered it to her, a handshake after the matchup, Amber Young shoved her to the canvas, and well, Remy got her lick back, as the kids today would say, again, when she helped Selena Satoru to retain the Zero-G championship against Amber Young a couple weeks ago on Shockwave. I think Remy would be the first to tell you that the past month and change not been going too well for her. Well, ever since losing the Zero-G championship to Selena Satoru and being unable to get it back. Despite how impressive she might have been in the Women's Rumble match at Mob Violence. Time to turn things around with a win here. I send Amber Young into the corner, make a tag to the Zero-G champion. Sent out into the corner. What the hell is this? I'm going to use Satoru like a battering ram to run Amber Young down. Forces her to retreat to the outside, and Amy going to get knocked off the apron. Welcome to CMV, I guess. Satoru going to the top. She's got it out for Amy here. Oh my God, it's like a heat-seeking missile there. But Amber Young's the legal one. I guess Satoru just remembered that. Gonna throw her back into the ring. Oh, my friends, the tide is turning here in CMV with Validation coming up in just a few weeks. It's gonna be the final nail in the coffin of Shockwave, I like to say. And Adam Valentine, well, his time as Shockwave general manager might be short-lived once the higher-ups realize what a poor job he's been doing. Look, I'm no hater. Everybody, right? Nobody would ever call me a hater. Come on, I'm the complete and total opposite. But it's just a fact. At Validation, you're going to see my Team Octane completely, utterly trounce Shockwave, and then I'm going to get to bring whoever I want to Octane, as if it wasn't already the flagship show. I think it'll be undisputed. Double back body drop. Things are not going well at all for Amber Young in this tag team matchup, our tertiary main event so far. So Satoru got to get out of the way. Up to the top rope. Thinking about it. Takes the big section. We might never end up seeing Amy get tagged into this matchup, it's looking like. Powerbomb and stacked up by the captain. Kick out at 2, though. again, out on the apron. And she lines up her shot for a springboard knee. We are seeing the Oja Dojo operate at peak performance here in this matchup. Goes to show how well the two know each other. You dare say like a well-oiled machine. And Amber Young finally, yes, here's a tag to Amy. Our very first look at the protege of Amber Young, Amy, who comes in with a cacao kick. Immediately going to rock the Zero-G champion. And slamming her head off the top turnbuckle won't help any. Stiff kicks. Restive kicks of doom right there to the chest of Satoru as she's strapped in the corner. But able to try and fire back at her. Nice counter into a reverse DDT by Amy, though. Hoisted up. KO kick. And indeed, could be just that. Selena looking to avoid getting completely knocked out. Rolls out onto the apron with Amy sticking to her like some peanut butter on jelly. Back into the ring, she takes it with that very innovative suplex. Well, things have completely turned around ever since Amy got tagged in. Just when I was thinking there's nobody more dangerous than Amber Young, here along comes Amy, taught everything that Young knows and perhaps even more merciless from what I'm seeing here so far. Oh, but what a kick to the side of the head. And that's going to prompt the rookie to make a tag quick to Amber Young, who's going to shout and slit his face. I don't think that's going to work. Not the best tactic. Tag instead to Zoe Remy. As we're going to double back body drop to the KO bombshell. Remy's legal. Tries for a senton off that top rope. Amber Young here to get out of the way, though, and catches with that forearm. Out of the corner. Very lazy pin. Didn't even hook the leg, and that allows Remy to kick out at 1. It's not like Amber Young making a mistake like that. But things are obviously very heated at this point between herself, Remy, and Satoru. With that hammerlock Michinoku driver. And now it's Remy. Gonna try to make the tag. Well, a tag's made to Amy. And yes, in comes Satoru as well. Who's gonna be able to avoid that. Oh, not for long, I guess. Ooh, nice pin here by Amy. Satoru's able to get herself out of that. Backstabber. Quickly drops into the pin, making sure to hook the leg, but Amber Young getting Amy out of it at a count of 1. See the Zero-G champion, though, keeps focused. Oh, now she tries to. So what the fuck was that? What is happening? I think that was an axe kick attempt by Amy. She got that leg up unbelievably high there. What? Slingshot drop kick to the face. Things are going off the rails here in this tag team matchup. Gonna try to get him back on track with a knee to the side of the head. And a tag is over. Amy back to her feet. Remy gonna try to use a little bit of intimidation, but it fails. Did not pass the check. Unfortunate. Now an Irish whip into the corner. She rolled a 2. Ooh. Protege and teacher. Getting it done dirty. That boot to the side of the head. Gonna knock Remy all the way down to the floor. Right back into the ring, though. Amber Young not allowing the captain to go anywhere fast on that apron. Uh-oh, gonna confer with Amy momentarily. Maybe not the best time to do so. Remy's able to wake herself up now. And up on the shoulders. Fairly taking the ropes, though. Elbows to the side of the head. Amber Young gets herself that opening she needs. Fireman's carry. Who got her with that detonation kick. Tag brings Amy back in just as Remy gets back to her feet. Irish whip off the ropes. And the debuting Amy, look at him maybe stomp Zoe Remy in, but the captain knew that it was coming out. Able to get Amy into the corner. Tag made to Selena Satoru, and the Ojidojo gonna show up, show out, represent. Satoru off the shoulders of Remy with an elbow drop across the chest of Amy into the pin. 1, 2, what a kick out. Trying to force Amy to walk the plank here. Head kick. Having none of it. There's that Colt kick. But Satoru with some fighting spirit. Whoa, they just try to take their best shots at one another. Neither connecting. And now a running sit-out powerbomb. Satoru just gets right back up. No matter what Amy throws at her here, it's having little to no effect on the Zero-G champion. Oh, but this might change things. That triangle choke. Even Zoe Remy get a little bit worried. They try to come and help out. Satoru to escape there, and she does. Damage potentially done, however. Remy now has to get out of the ring before she gets disqualified. Satoru. Going into the corner. Oh, lining up for that haymaker. A little bit of a knuckle sandwich packed for you. Amber Young, her teachings showing off as Amy, very smart, rolls to the outside, but Selena Satoru handing out no breaks here. Knee to the back, and they're going to take a moment to embarrass the rookie. Knife head chop attempted. Amy rolls out of the way, but there's that cave-in. And splat goes Satoru on the floor. Might be a count-out win, guys. Count of 7 has till 20. Is Satoru going to get back up, though? The Zero-G champion appears to be... No, wait a minute. She gets to her feet, count of 9. And 10 now, Amber Young going to try to run some interference. Going to force Satoru back into the ring. Remy's been taken out by Amy meanwhile. So Satoru is all on her own here. Oh, a cheap shot from Amber Young. Come on. As if you don't already have the upper hand. Springboard dropkick. Remy is still down. Oh, she's back up now. Might be too little too late, though. Gonna say what's up to her before delivering that hell of a kick. Not gonna let her crawl away. Amy shoots the half of the forearm to the face. A kick out at 2.5 by Satoru. Try to figure out a way to turn things around and get into the corner, make that tag to Zoe Remy. Could be their only chance. Tag to Amber Young. Oh boy, I don't like how this is shaping up. You go high, I'll go low. Chopping her up. Uno, dos. No trace. The trace is nowhere to be found. Even Amber Young for a moment. Arguing with the ref. Hang on. Satoru. Woken back up. Gets Amber Young down in the corner. Gives her that chance to make the tag to Zoe Remy. Oh, but walks right into the Colt kick. Instantly. The captain, though, comes to it with a reverse DDT. Now brings Young to her feet. Nice combo there. Not necessarily the most beautiful dropkick I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, but it might be time to let loose the cannons. Running knee to the jaw. Might have cracked it. But Amy makes the save for her mentor. Remy looking to make her pay for it. Too fast, gets out of that apron. Single knee gutbuster puts Young down. Makes that tag to Selena Satoru, the Zero-G champion. With a big slap for Amber Young. Oh my word, what a spinning kick that was. I think I just saw Amber Young's head spin around. And the tag now to Remy. Gonna switch places this time. It's gonna be Remy coming off the shoulders. Gonna walk the plank here. Right to the heart of Amber Young. 1, 2. But Amber Young's heart is cold and not so easily put down as the merciless assassin. She's got a cut right across her forehead. Oh my God, they're gonna tag. Right back in. And Satoru tries her elbow off Remy's shoulders. Amber Young, no breaks to be caught. 1, 2, 3, and the Oja Dojo picks up the win here in our tertiary main event. I guess we just learned Satoru maybe has the sharper elbow. And at least for this night, we learned who the better rookie mentor combination was. The Oja Dojo picking up a very nice win for themselves here against Amy and Amber Young. And it's our co-main event coming up next, guys. You see Gus Nabel is already in the ring, and he's bursting at the seams here. The Intercontinental Champion trying to get into the ring, but I guess he can't even do that. Nabel can no longer contain himself. Referee's going to separate these two, but is she actually going to allow the match to begin? She is. The bell has rung, but Gus Nabel's got a significant upper hand. As the ref is telling the bell, you gotta chill or I'm gonna throw this match out. Now he's choking Remy. Well, what I said earlier, there's a lot of bad blood between these two. You believe me now? If you didn't? Especially after what Nabel did last Octane to Remy Martin's friend, Kerry Yamashita. I mean, I would tell you if you didn't see it, you'll typically go back and check it out for yourself, but I would probably advise you skip that. I mean, just suffice to say, Neville, disgusting what he did to Yamashita and forced Yamashita to miss out on being in the Women's Rumble match at Mob Violence, and we don't know when she'll be back. One can hope soon, but in the meantime, Remy Martin's attempting to get a little bit of retribution on her behalf. It's not going well for him so far. This has been a match of weeks in the making. Neville's been calling out Remy Martin, attacking him from behind. Of course, he wanted it to be for the Intercontinental Championship. This is a non-title matchup, but one would say for certain if Neville can win here, he'll earn himself the opportunity, and it's looking like he's got a very good chance of that being the case after that pre-match attack. Remy's trying to get himself back into it now. There's a member of Team Octane heading into validation, but by the time Neville gets through with him, maybe Martin won't be able to make it to Los Angeles. Not been a good night for the Howard across the board. A loss for Madison Quinn, a loss for Max Cutter so far, even though Michael Hawk was able to get the jump on Tommy Demise. Neville trying to pick up the slack, which is pretty funny because he's been the one kind of dropping the slack in recent weeks. So it kind of falls on him to make sure the night isn't a complete and total loss. Going up to the top rope, our Intercontinental Champion, who even at a disadvantage, still not somebody you're going to completely discount. We're seeing why. That missile dropkick falls up with a knee. I mean, Remy Martin's still undefeated one-on-one. He has not lost a singles match yet in his CMV career. He has been defeated, though, in multi-man matchups. And, of course, more recently, just a couple weeks ago, he was tapped out by Michael Hawk in that tag match. That's something that definitely sticks in the craw of Remy Martin. Gus Neville maybe looks to be the one to hand him that very first L, mano y mano. And again, after that attack before the bell even rang, big advantage goes to Gus Neville, the former Rite of Passage champion. He's going to go up to the top rope. These two former pals, former allies, when they first arrived here in CMV together, but well, that ship has long sailed. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was effective, I guess. Remy with some elbows to the midsection. Tries to charge Neville, though. Uh-oh! Gets caught, and the end of heartache to Remy Martin. Will it be 1, 2, 3? Gus Neville has done it. Gus Neville has just pinned the Intercontinental Champion. And, well, I mean, he attacked him before the matchup even began. It's a little bit ridiculous the ref even allowed this match to carry on. Martin was clearly in no condition, but Neville takes full advantage. He got under the skin of Remy Martin with what he did to Kari Yamashita. He had him emotionally unstable, and then he attacks him before the matchup starts. Neville just really had the entire deck in his favor in this one, and here he catches Martin with the end of heartache. Well, if this were for the Intercontinental Championship, we'd have a new champion right now. And with this win, Neville has surely put himself in that number one contender's position. If Remy Martin doesn't get his act together, well, his time with the Intercontinental Championship might be coming to an end. At least the night wasn't a total disaster, I guess, for the Hallowed. Neville, again, strange twist of fate. He's been the one kind of dropping the ball recently. But he picks up the slack for the Hallowed, and a big win against Remy Martin. But now it is time, my friends, for our main event here on Octane number 153. And I hate to say it because I'm so happy to be able to once again say that the global general, Chris Diamond, the British baller, is arriving, but it could be a short-lived feeling of euphoria. Because after defeating Hunter Quinn at Mob Violence to finally become global champion once again, that second reign could very well come to an end right here, right now, as Chris Diamond must defend against Troy Colt, the newest member of the Octane roster. Officially, the ink has dried. No longer a free agent. Well, part of, I would say, quite a brilliant deal was to give Colt this opportunity right here tonight. As it's Troy Colt, who might be looking for his second reign as global champion. And a triumphant Diamond who, despite the many ploys of Troy Colt last Octane to stop it from happening, won that Gold Rush tournament. And then at Mob Violence, despite the constant interferences from the Howlett at ringside, overcame the disadvantages and walked out of San Antonio as Global General once again. And after working so hard, will it all be so quickly flushed down the toilet, courtesy of Mr. No Days Off here in our main event. Chris Diamond, who defeated Troy Colt in the first round of that Gold Rush tournament by countout, a phenomenal matchup, which unfortunately did end in such a way, but it's a legit way to win, some would tell you. Troy Colt begs to differ, called Chris Diamond a coward. I don't know if I would agree with that. But Troy Colt now has his chance to become a world champion once again. You know, the Global Championship was his first ever title here in CMV. Since then, has become CMV champion, World Tag Team champion. Some would still argue the greatest CMV champion of all time. Longest reigning, most defenses as CMV champion. But it's not the CMV championship we're talking about here. It's the Global Championship, a title very near and dear to the heart of Troy Colt. Very near and dear to the heart of the man who holds it right now, though, too, Chris Diamond. And let's just hope this one doesn't end by countout as well. Of course, if it does, Troy Colt won't be leaving as champion. He has to either pin or submit Chris Diamond here in our main event to walk out as the new global champion. Ooh, baby. Big fight feel. And remember who's also going to be watching this one very closely. The men's Rumble match winner, Schmitty, because, well, he still has not made his decision. Will he be challenging the CMV champion Blake Virtue at Validation, or will he be challenging the winner of this match? Be it Troy Colt, or be it still Chris Diamond? Also watching this matchup, I'm sure, the former champion Hunter Quinn of the Hallowed. And it's not surprising we haven't seen a Hunter Quinn here tonight, because Kai Victory, who, again, I'm also sure is watching this one, put a $5 million bounty on Hunter Quinn's head earlier this week. So the Hellhound has not shown his face tonight, and I highly doubt that he will. As this main event matchup gets underway, Global Championship on the line. Will the second reign of the Global General be one short-lived? Or can he again, against the odds, walk out as Global Champion to start off with a feeling out process? And Troy Colt's got the arm of Chris Diamond. Not for long, though. Takes it back. Does the British Baller. These are two incredibly well-rounded competitors. With Chris Diamond currently in the Hall of Fame, Troy Colt undisputedly will one day have his own place in that Hall of Fame. Stomped to the face by Diamond, and a quick springboard moonsault tries to catch Troy Colt lacking. But off the ropes, that virtue-esque knee drop, and they just know each other too well. After their recent run-ins, back to the collar and elbow tie-up. Pushed into the corner. I would be very surprised if we got a clean break here. We do, though. Okay, Global Championship on the line. Perhaps a little bit more respectful than usual, even if just a sliver. Ooh! Looked like Diamond tried to quickly jump up to the top rope, but Colt caught him with that kick to the chest. God. That took the air out of me. Just watching. Collar and tie up again. They jock for control. This time Diamond overpowers Colt and pushes him into the corner. Another clean break. Ref's trying to pull him. Oh, and Colt with the cheap shot kick to the gut. Referee's going to admonish Colt, and he better be careful. This ends in an DQ. He does not win the Global Championship. Again, he has to pin or submit Diamond in the ring to win the championship. He can't do it by countout or DQ. That's the champion's advantage Diamond has. As he sends Colt out onto the apron. And a sunset flip powerbomb all the way down to the floor. Followed up by a stomp to the back of the knee. Main event of Octane number 153. As Diamond slides into the ring. And goes vintage with the super kick attempt, but Colt knew it was coming. Big chop to the chest. Fires back at him with one of his own. They're just trying to light each other up at the 4th of July right here. Woo. Oh, that was a smack across the face. Troy Colt says, do it again, bitch, I dare you. Truly, just lobbing some, Hunter Quinn, where the hell did he come from? I thought he was in hiding. Oh my God, he's trying to take back the Global Championship. Hunter Quinn has just taken the Global Championship, and he's trying to walk out with it. Diamond's not going to let him. Diamond takes it back. So what the hell do you think you're doing? But now Troy Colt's going to take advantage. Cheap shot from Colt. Hunter Quinn. I guess he isn't too deep in hiding, despite that $5 million bounty being put on his head by Kai Victory. Well, now Troy Colt has got himself a considerable advantage, but Diamond's fighting back. I had hoped Hunter Quinn would stay out of this. I guess I was foolish to think so. Colt, count of 5. Colt kick! You gotta get him back into the ring though, Troy. You can't win that championship on a count out. And Colt knows it too. He's no dummy. He's no idiot. To the top rope. Oh my God, not this way. Don't tell me it comes to an end this way. Meteora into the pin. Colt 3 seconds away, but Diamond kicks out. The British Baller's not out of this one yet, despite Hunter Quinn's best shots to ensure the Global Hemenal does not leave tonight as champion still. Stomp to the hand. He's worked too hard, has Chris Diamond, for too long to call himself world champion once again here in CMV. Stomp to the gut. He's going to line up his shot. Full steam ahead, man. Can't afford to take your foot off the gas here. Not with all the sharks circling. Diamond remembering what it means to be a world champion here in CMV. You've got that target on your back. But it only grows with each passing day. But Troy Colt's got his shot lined up, blocked, loaded. Can he pull the trigger? There's the super kick this time. Finds its mark. And rocked is Colt. Diamond driver. No! Last second, Colt's there with the counter. Punches to the gut, stun Diamond. Claps the temples. No, blocked. Diamond with an Irish whip now on the rebound. Super kick. Hall of Famer Paul Anderson-esque. As now you see Diamond go to the top, trying for the 450. Maybe, maybe not. DDT! Forget about ringing Colt's bell. That's a skull crack right there if I've ever seen one, but Colt kicks out. And Diamond with a knee across the lower back. Doesn't let Colt go too far. Slam face first at the top turnbuckle. And it's time to make a donation to the Break Your Neck Foundation. Big donation indeed. Troy Colt kicks out at 2, and a Colt kick again, another one. Just falls into the pin. Diamond digs down as deep as one can, with blood now pouring down his face. Tries to block Colt from potentially going for the 330 slam. Brainbuster. Right with a springboard moonsault, but he missed. He missed, and now Colt. 330 slam. One slip up, one mistake. 1, 2. My heart. Be still, my beating heart. Troy Colt. No, he's not done. But Diamond is. But Diamond is. Forearm smash from the global general. As now Colt rocked. Meteora from Brett's rope. But crafty Colt, the veteran, able to get himself out of the apron to avoid getting pinned. Diamond, though, not letting him go all too far. Trying to knock him off, and he does. Finally with that drop kick. Have a nice trip. See you next fall again at ringside. Troy Colt cannot win by countout. And we already know Diamond's more than happy to take a countout win against Troy Colt. He did a few weeks ago. Especially with the Global Championship on the line. Look, you do what you got to do. Oh! Knee to the back of the head. Colt face first down onto the exposed concrete. That could be a broken nose. That could be a fractured orbital. Jawbreaker. Colt with a big chop. You're starting to fight up the ref. The referee's in the count of 6. Suplex on the concrete. You got to get him back in the ring, Colt. Get him back in the ring. Colt kick a 3rd time. Troy, what are you doing? Break the count, Troy. Troy. Damn, they really tried to cut the feed right there. Well, Troy Colt, I don't know if he didn't realize what the count was at or not. What happened there? He wins the match, but he does not win the championship. That's Adam Valentine trying to sabotage the broadcast here. I cannot believe this. They got carried away at ringside. And Colt, he wins the match, but he does not win the championship. And again, another banger between these two ends in a countout. But this time the Global Championship was on the line. And here's Colt. This was a 3rd Colt kick, but instead of breaking the count, I don't know what he was thinking. Well, the win belongs to Troy Colt, but the Global Championship does not. Nice shot of the ref's forehead there. Well, my friends, not the outcome Troy Colt was entirely looking for. I have to wonder what Schmitty makes of this. What does Hunter Quinn make of this? What about Kai Victory? What about Chris Diamond?